Okay, we've been talking about early agriculture in the Near East. Agriculture. 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 Agriculture in the Near East. So let's concentrate on one side and see what we can learn from it. Let's look at Chatafuyak. I'll better write that down. Chatafuyak. That's about as close as we get in English. It's Turkish, really. The site's in modern-day Turkey, and who knows what the original inhabitants called it. Anyway, Çatalhöyük wasn't the first agricultural settlement in the Near East, but it was pretty early, settled about 9,000 years ago in the Neolithic period. And the settlement town really lasted about 1,000 years and grew to a size of about 8 or 10,000 people. That certainly makes it one of the largest towns in the world at the time. One of the things that makes the settlement of this size impressive is the time period. It's a Neolithic. Remember, the last Stone Age. So the people that lived there had only stone tools, no materials. So everything they accomplished, like building this town, they did with just stone, plus wood, bricks, the sort of thing, that sort of thing. But you got to remember, that it wasn't just any stone they had. They had obsidian, and obsidian is a black volcanic well, almost like glass. It flakes very nicely into very sharp points. The sharpest tools of the entire Stone Age were made of obsidian, and the people of Chatafurya got there from further inland, from central Turkey, traded for it probably. Anyway, what I want to focus on is the way the town was built. The houses are all rectangular, one story made of sun-dried bricks. But what's really interesting is that there are no spaces between them, and no street in other words, and generally no doors on the houses either. People walked around on the roofs and entered the house through a hatchway on the roof, down an wooden ladder. You can still see the diagonal diagonal marks of the ladders in the plaster on the inside walls. Once you were in the house, there would be one main room and a couple of small rooms for storage. The main room has a hearth for cooking and for heat. It would have been pretty cold during the winters. And it also looks like they made their tools near the fire. There tended to be a lot of obsidian flakes and chips in the hearth ashes. Horse. Hmm. Has ashes, but no chimney, and the smoke just went out the same hatchway that people use for going out and out themselves. So there would have been an open fire inside the house with only one hole in the roof to let the smoke out. You and I would have found it a bit too smoky in there. You can see on the walls, of which they frosted and decorated with paintings. They ended up with a layer of black soot on them, and so did people's lungs. The bones found in the grave show a layer of soot on the inside of the ribs. And that's another usual feature of Chattahoochee, the burial sites. The graves have all been found under the houses, right under the floors. And it may be this burial custom that explains why the houses were packed in so tightly without streets. I mean, you might think it was for protection or something, but there has been no evidence found yet of any violent attacks that would indicate that kind of danger. It may be they wanted to live as near as possible to their ancestors' graves and be buried near themselves, but it makes a good point. Based on based on excavation, we can know the layout of the house and the location of the graves, but we only guessing when we try to say why they did it that way. That's the way it is with archaeology. You are dealing with the physical remains that people left behind. We have no sure access to what they thought and how they felt about things. I mean, it's interesting to speculate, and the physical artifacts can give us clues, but there is a lot we can really know. So, for instance, the art. They painted on the frosted walls and usually they painted hunting scenes with wild animals in them. Now they did hunt, and they also raised cereal crops and kept sheep. But we don't know why so many of the paintings are of hunting scenes. Was it supposed to have a religious or magical significance? 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 That's the kind of things we can only guess and based on clues. And hopefully further excavation of Chapter 4 will yield more clues, but we'll probably never know for sure.